A Santa Fe district attorney has just said that criminal charges are on the table following an investigation into the Alec Baldwin movie set shooting that took the life of cinematographer Halyna Hutchins and injured director Joel Souza. I'm your host, Johnny Rogers, and I'm going to tell you everything you need to know right here on IO. But before we get started, if you could do us a big favor and please tap that subscribe button, we'd really appreciate it. And with that out of the way, let's begin. Recently, Santa Fe District Attorney Mary Carmack said in a statement that criminal charges could be filed in the shooting of cinematographer Halyna Hutchins. The fact that she is saying criminal charges are on the table means that the ongoing investigation must have found evidence that would suggest this is the best course of action. During an interview with the New York Times, Carmack said that her office isn't ruling anything out when it comes to filing criminal charges. She went on to tell them that the investigation is focused on what kind of projectile was actually fired from the prop revolver that Alec Baldwin was handed. Along with that, they need to narrow down who could have loaded the prop with live ammunition. Further police investigations show that there was an enormous amount of bullets confiscated on the set, and so they are trying to determine what kind that they were. When it comes to Alec Baldwin, Los Angeles trial attorney David Ring said that it's likely he won't face charges for his role in this accident because he had been told that the weapon was cold and therefore safe to use. However, he could still be held criminally liable because he was a producer on the film, which means he does bear some responsibility when it comes to the safety of the cast and crew on set. A producer is the person responsible for finding and launching a project. They also arrange financing, hire writers, hire a director, and hire other key members of the creative team, plus they oversee all elements of pre-production, production, and post-production right up until the film's release. So when a lot of union members walked off the set citing issues with safety, he must have been informed and had some say in picking their replacements. I know they were scrambling to find people last minute so that production could carry on as normal, but at some point there was someone that had to approve the people responsible for this happening. According to the affidavit that was filed by the Santa Fe County Sheriff's Office, it was revealed that Baldwin had been handed the prop revolver by Assistant Director Dave Halls. Dave was the one who called out that the weapon was cold, letting Baldwin know that it wasn't loaded with live or even blank ammunition for that matter. According to Dave, his defense for this was that he just did not know that it had been loaded with a live round, and then he shifted blame to the movie's armorer Hannah Gutierrez. Hannah had laid out 3 revolvers and Dave just walked up, grabbed one, and took it to set for Alec. This is why assumptions can be so dangerous. Dave assumed that Hannah had done her due diligence as head armorer and checked over everything. Hannah, who I believe was also new to this type of a job, must have also assumed that if she had made a mistake somewhere along the line, someone would tell her. But we'll have to wait for more information from this investigation though to see if someone had accidentally placed the loaded prop next to the other ones and Hannah just didn't notice, or if this was an actual mistake made by her in the first place. Either way, I do think some blame will have to fall on Assistant Director Dave Halls, who is the actual person to hand the loaded prop over to Baldwin. According to that affidavit, the movie had already been plagued with issues before this though. There were at least 2 previous incidents where one of their prop weapons had misfired, and as I mentioned, these safety concerns caused union crew members to walk off the set in protest. I also need to make a correction with my language here as well. I keep saying that the prop weapon was loaded with ammunition, but I forgot to mention that the district attorney also stressed that it was incorrect to refer to it as that. This was a 100% real weapon and was simply placed in the same vicinity as the prop ones that they were using for the film. Court documents also reveal that police have confiscated a number of items from the set that included 3 black revolvers, ammunition boxes, a fanny pack with ammunition, several spent casings, 2 leather gun belts with holsters, articles of clothing, and swabs of what was believed to be blood. The missing pieces and central mystery to this investigation is finding out what kind of projectile was fired from the weapon and how it got there in the first place. However, investigators are warning the public to not be expecting those questions to be answered anytime soon. Juan Rio, spokesperson for the Santa Fe County Sheriff's Department, said in a statement, "We need to be diligent about the there be charges ultimately filed, they are able to uphold those in court." On top of all of that though, it has also been reported that Halyna Hutchins' family is considering filing a wrongful death lawsuit against the producers of the film. According to TMZ, with the insurance policy that's connected to the movie, this means that the family could get a maximum of $6 million. However, if Joel Souza, who was also injured in all of this as well by the same bullet, if he decides to file a lawsuit, that $6 million gets split between him and the Hutchins family. For now though, these are all the updates that we have for you, but as always, we would love to hear your thoughts, so don't forget to drop us a comment down below. But for now, I've been your host, Johnny Rogers, and until next time, stay classy, YouTube, or at least try.